Welcome back, my lovely connoisseurs of the culture. Oh, whoops, I'm not at the title screen. Welcome back, my lovely connoisseurs of the culture. Hi, I already ruined my intro. I hope everyone's doing well this holy day/night. I am the voice you can't forget, the Incredible V, and welcome back to MDA Rain Code, or as I'm titling this little section of the playthrough, The Detective's Lost Cases. DLC. I'm pretty sure I already kind of confirmed that I can be witty and not witty at the same time. I thought it was cute. Regardless, let's see here. For those that want a reminder, last time I brought this game back because I wanted more. I needed more. I couldn't say goodbye to this game just yet. Even though eventually I will. At the very least, I could get another episode or two in because I freaking love it. More specifically, last time we did some DLC. As you can see, we have 5 DLC missions to do, and we did the first 2. I was actually surprised by how short they were. I thought for sure originally that it would be long enough that maybe I could get some of one done in one episode over and over, but to think that I can get 2 in one, we'll see. I don't know if that means that the next 2 are going to be as short. I don't know, but my plan is at the very least to do one of them because apparently these DLC missions are not that long. For further context, and to my understanding of this DLC, the Detective's Lost Cases as I'm calling it, are little side stories involving the other master detectives that take place before Yuma, yours truly, as well as the lovely Shinigami set our feet. We touched down, whatever, before we get to Kanai Ward. I don't know the proper expression. I'm kind of a little loopy right now. Medication's kind of a thing. I've been kind of recovering from some illnesses. But you know what? I'm all good right now, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. If I do, oh well, whoops. But more importantly, yes, last time we did Desahiko's Charisma Killed a Cat, where he dealt with the Phantom Thief, and considering the fact that it's DLC, I probably should say spoiler warning. I'm not going to leave in the description, but I'm hoping you guys pay attention when I say there is spoilers the way I'm talking about it, because we are going to be talking briefly about these. For namely, with Desahiko, we found out the Phantom Thief, the Nine-Tailed Cat, who turned out to be a very familiar, or a very interesting reporter, quite an attractive one I might add, who I don't know if we'll ever see again. I'm surprised we didn't see or hear mention of her back in the main story, but I guess she was more crucial to Desahiko's thing, so whatever. It was also really simple how it was. I was kind of caught off guard by how short that DLC mission was, compared to Fubuki's, where it was a bit more worthwhile. I'm not just saying because Fubuki is one of my personal favorite characters, even though she is, next to both Yakao and Vivia, and Halara, pretty much everyone that's not Desahiko. But Fubuki's whole thing about looping over was crucial because she found out a mystery involving one guy that kept falling from some building onto, well, basically he kept falling to his death. And we kept looping it over and over, and eventually found out it had to deal with some casino and their conspiracy. I'm not going to go into too many specifics. But yeah, we were able to solve that thanks to Halara and Desahiko. Yes, Fubuki was jumping in on that one, even though it's Fubuki's mission. Which is why I'm curious, because if we can do 2 in one episode, then ideally we should be able to do both Halara and Vivia's. But I don't know, because Fubuki's DLC was longer than Desahiko's, so I'm a little concerned on that. But you know what? We'll see what happens and have fun together. So, if you enjoy this content, you love hearing the lovely sound of my voice, or you're really kind and supportive and wish to help this channel grow and prosper and stay alive in this rather tough world we call YouTube/Twitch/ whatever social media you're watching this on, then by all means, please follow me on Twitch with the handle of Vitamin DGR. That is Vitamin DGR, the place where you hear the lovely voice you can't forget. Of course, if you really want to help support the channel, you can also subscribe to skip those pesky ads. It does help. All proceeds help to keep this channel alive. Of course, some of you guys maybe watch this on YouTube where, you know, you can like and share the video, and I greatly appreciate it. I will try to do my best to do more content for you. In exchange, I only ask with all the kindness I could give, so please like the video. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to it, starting with Halara's chapter. Raining Cats and Dog. Raining Cats and Dog. No dogs plural, huh? Okay. The Nocturnal Detective Agency receives a request to investigate an unusual drowning. Was it suicide or murder? Will Master Detective Halara be able to solve this odd and onerous case? Let's find out. And we'll see if I can get one. If I can at least get Halara's done, it's cool. I don't mind if we can't do Vivia's, but if I can at least get Halara's done, I'll call it a successful episode. Even though I still don't want to say goodbye to these characters. We need more Master Detective, man. I love this game so much. Switch? Oh, there we go.
Do you know where the milk I put in the fridge went? I was saving it for my coffee.
You're sitting in my chair.
I
don't care.
That's my seat, you know.
I don't care.
How much?
How much?
How much do you want for it? I'll pay your asking price.
My chair?
Well,
You gotta be kidding. Fine. Just keep sitting there.
I will.
And that's how you win any argument.
Huh? Someone's coming. I wasn't expecting guests today.
Be careful. It could be a trap. Oh, hi. Oh, you look sad. Cute, but sad. I like her eyes. Oh, the music got quiet. Uh-oh.
Right this way. It's a bit cramped in here.
Are you the chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency? My name is Tetra. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, that's an interesting name. I like it.
I'm the chief. That's just one of our detectives.
Welcome, welcome, fan night to stream. You said that's a long title for a game. What, you mean MDA, Master Detective Archives, Rank Code, all Detectives Lost Cases? Welcome, welcome to stream, by the way.
Oh, excuse me. Your detective was sitting at the biggest desk here, so I assumed that...
Tetra's an interesting name. I've never thought of that for a girl. That's interesting.
My seat gets stolen the moment I leave it open. Let's sit down.
And then Halara's like, you're not sitting on my desk.
I was told you investigate murders.
You've been on that metaphor, Fantasio? Oh, I still have to get a copy. I know it's gonna be good too. Well, I mean, one of these days I'll eventually play it. It's fine. I have such a massive backlog. I'm actually getting into a different franchise, so it's probably a good thing that I don't have the ability to play Metaphor yet, because I don't have the funds for it. But when I eventually get there, oh boy, it'll definitely be up my alley. I already have a lot of high hopes for that bad boy. I think I've been singing its praises since the minute Metaphor was like, hey, it's coming to America in time. I think I was one of those people who kept in like so many videos, even videos not on Atlas Games. I was just like, dude, Metaphor is gonna be legit. And to the point where I had to, this is a quick thing before I get back to the game. I like the fact that I made a separate channel for YouTube, because my main channel has so many people and reactions to Metaphor that I can no longer go on there. Like, I mean, I go on there to like manage my videos and stuff, but it's immediately like, as soon as I log in, I quickly go back to my channel page, because the minute I go to YouTube, it's either on anime spoilers, especially because the newer season and stuff like Ray Zero and Don. I'm like, no, don't. I want to wait. And then it's stuff of people playing Metaphor, like John is Awesome, or another person. There's like a bunch of people that has been playing Metaphor. It's been making me sad. But like I said, I have a separate channel for that. But I digress. Let's get back to it.
A murder case. It's possible for us to handle it, but what we can or can't do depends on whether or not the peacekeepers have already gone through it.
I see. My father passed away in a rather bizarre manner. The peacekeepers declared it was an accidental death.
As usual, the peacekeepers suck balls. Okay.
But I just can't believe it was an accident.
The peacekeepers usually try to declare any unnatural deaths as accidents.
And most of the people apparently just don't care, or don't think to care.
Why do you suspect that it wasn't one?
My father kept tropical fish as a hobby. One morning, he was found dead, drowned with his head stuck in the fish tank.
Oh. I guess that'd be a little weird if your father passed away. How do you do that with your head stuck in the fish tank? I'm trying to imagine. Is it like a Final Destination thing where like maybe your father wears a tie and there's like a suction or something that pulls your father in? That's the only way I could think of that. That's a very morbid thought that I'm thinking about it. Let's just get back to the game.
Do you really think that could be an accident?
He drowned with his head stuck in a fish tank? Can you describe the situation?
The fish tank is set rather low, so you can view it from above. My father was in a kneeling position, with his head dunked into the water.
How does that work?
That sure is bizarre. What did the peacekeepers have to say?
They say he was electrocuted, and passed out when he touched the temperature control switch with wet hands.
Huh. Then it says I heard nothing of what you said on Metaphor. I was in ad limbo. Oh, I was just describing about how I knew I was gonna like Metaphor when I eventually played it. That unfortunately I don't have the money to get it now, and I'm actually getting into another game franchise, one that I actually want to do on stream because I'm actually kind of liking it so far. I'm gonna keep it a secret though. And it's hopefully a good thing because it helps me stall for time until I eventually get Metaphor. But at the same time, that I made a separate YouTube channel because I can't go on my main channel without spoiling, and it's really hard. And unfortunately, I try to tell my YouTube stop sending me videos and stuff like that, and it sucks. Kind of wait to see what game it is. I've been really looking forward to the. Well, okay, I've been liking this playthrough so far. Again, I'm keeping it a secret. And I was torn because the game I'm currently playing, well, one of the games I'm currently playing, it's on the PlayStation Store, and I downloaded it, and I was debating about whether I should stop and then just play it on stream or not. I might make a decision because I'm actually wrapping up a couple other games right now. Like Tokyo Xanadu's done, and once Master Detective is done, I'll have 2 days for different blocks. Well, actually I have one premiere this week, but I might do it, but I'll leave a little note on Discord just in case.
And he fell into the water and drowned, unfortunately.
My lips are sealed. I'll keep it a surprise.
Are you sure the cause of death was drowning?
Yes, that appears to be the case without a doubt. A trustworthy doctor did the autopsy.
I see. From what you've said, you can't really deny that it could have been an accident.
No, the problem is the room where my father passed away. It was obvious that someone else had rummaged around.
What do you mean?
Oh, so someone might have offed your father and left him in a position where he conveniently drowned, but he was already gone, maybe?
Well, the room has lots of tropical fish tanks lined up.
Oh, music got quiet. I should pay attention.
But on the day my father died, all of them were shattered to pieces.
What? Nice place he has, but why?
And of course there was water and dead fish all over the floor. Someone must have forced their way into the room to do something so terrible. I believe my father was murdered by whoever did that.
Look at poor Dory in the corner, man.
This must be a murder. Please uncover the truth of my father's death.
What do you think, Halara?
I don't get paid enough to care.
Beats me. I wasn't paying attention.
Don't lie. There's no way you couldn't hear us.
You can assume I don't exist, unless pay is involved.
I can pay. My father left me an inheritance.
Oh, don't mind my detective. Our rates are always reasonable here.
Maybe your rates, but not mine. My services are at least 50 million Shien. I think I might honestly beat this entire game and never know what a Shien is. Like, what is it comparable to? To a dollar, to a yen, to a ruble? Like, what is a Shien?
Then you'll investigate this case on my behalf?
Huh? Yes, of course. As detectives sworn to protect this town, we can't leave any mysteries unsolved.
He probably even charges a high interest rate. Oh, yes, Halara does.
Thank you. I'm so happy I worked up the courage to come here.
The Nocturnal Detective Agency is here to protect the peace of Kanai Ward.
I
You
bet.
can always count on us. As for investigating this case, we'll check out the crime scene soon. Promise.
This is Halara's chapter, though, not the Chief's. So,
Jeez.
take it out of my pitch, out of my, Actually, wait, no, the Chief's paying Halara. Oh, well then, flip this. Halara's not gonna do it. The's no way the Chief can afford it.
That was rather reckless of you to promise.
It's not like I have a choice. I can't just abandon people in need.
Sure you can. It's like this. And then Halara turns around the chair and it's just, I don't know, just has their arms crossed. Like, Halara? Halara? It's like, I'm not paying attention to you until you speak money.
I'm Yaku Furio, chief of the Nocturnal Detective Agency. I gotta protect this town.
Do you even have a single lead to solve this case?
What? Of course. I'm a detective after all. If I proceed with the investigation, I'm sure I can find some kind of clue. But I'll need your help, Halara.
That depends on the payment.
Facts, Phantom Knight. Facts and a half.
You know I don't have a lot of money.
And you know that I don't work for cheap.
Then, how about a deal instead?
How about a gamble instead? I have these 3 dice. If all of them turn up even, then you have to work for me. If all of them turn up odd, you have to work for me. And if all of them are mixed match, you have to work for me. How's those odds? And the Halara's just like, what? Did you really think I was gonna fall for any of that? And she was like, well, I saw it on YouTube once, I thought it would work.
What deal?
If you solve this case, I'll let you keep a cat here.
Dungeon Dice Monster rules, let's go. Oh, right. Halara likes cats.
Really?
Yes, really.
I'll be right back.
Hey, where are you going?
To the crime scene.
Hold on. The client just left. Why don't you wait until tomorrow?
Because I want a cat, damn it.
Fine. I shall review the case's records until then.
Halara's fee is cheaper than I thought.
No, Halara wants... Ooh, I can't say that. Alright. Raining cats and dog. I don't know why it's just singular dog, though. That's what's getting me. Halara attacks with a 1 Shein coin. What is a Shein? Please, there has to be someone out there in the world that tells me what the flip of Shein is. Am I really gonna go this whole playthrough and not know what a Shein is?
Thank you for coming. You really are willing to investigate the case.
Well, that's our duty at the Nocturnal Detective Agency. Your house is pretty big. Your father must have been well off.
What does your father do? Or rather, what did your father do? And then the guy next to was like, oh, he died, so... Oh, sorry, too soon. Anyway, yeah, I think your father did, like, I don't know, stocks or something. Anyway, can I go home now?
Yes. My father owned a medical devices company. He contributed to Kanai Ward's medical advancements for years.
Oh, good on him.
I simply can't believe he met his end like this.
We'll find justice for him.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
Wow, they really did destroy every fish tank.
This is my fiance, Jaren. We've been living together for about a year now.
Jaren? You married a guy spelled, like, whose name is Jaren? Like, well, what's the problem with Jaren? It's like, no one has a name like that. You know, no one has a name like Petra or Halara. Like, well, yeah, the cooler people do. You need to change your name, buddy. No one's gonna take you seriously. You clearly... She's marrying you for money. She's not marrying you for your name.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, see, and you're a wimp too? A wimp named Jaren? Mm-mm.
I'd like to ask you more about the details later, but can we take a look at the scene for now? Oh, before that, do you have a photo of your father?
Of course. Here's a picture from when he was still alive.
Thank you. Halara, over here. I'll leave the investigation to you. It's a bit too cramped for all of us to be wandering about. I'll keep speaking to them outside. Talk to me when you're done.
Yeah.
Understood.
I only care for the cat at this point.
Now, time to review the cards I've been dealt.
Shout out to anybody in the world named Jaren. Actually, is Jaren a name for people? It's probably, right? I mean, anything could be a name. Like, someone out the world probably is named Sixpack, so I'm certain there's someone in the world named Jaren. So, shout out to any Jarens in the world. I hope you grow up to be, like, I don't know, lawyers or scientists or astronauts or some other great profession, and hopefully you don't become, the next time I go to McDonald's, the cashier person is like, hi, welcome to McDonald's. Like, hi, can I get the double? Wait, your name is Jaren? Like, yeah. I guess that from something. It's like, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna name my kid Jaren. Jaren Bindman. That's gonna be my kid's name. And then I want it to be where my son slash daughter, because I don't know if it's a guy name or a girl name. Could be androgynous. I want it to be to the point where, like, my child Jaren grows up and someone's like, oh wow, Jaren's an interesting name. Why'd you call it that? And he'd be like, yeah, my dad had a dumb sense of humor. He liked this one game called Master Detective Archives, and there was a one little background character named Jaren, and he couldn't let it go because he thought people would like that joke, so he decided to name me Jaren. Like, your kid, your father doesn't like you that much, huh? It's like, well, he might have been a little bit on medicine on that day, but still. All right, investigation time. I need to stop. I'm sorry for anyone honestly named Jaren.
Remember this.
Phantom 9 said I never met someone named Jaren. There has to be at least a Jaren in the world, right? There has to be. You know what? I'm gonna Google Jaren afterwards. Okay, let's see here. Notebook clues and clues. You can review the info of acquired clues. Yeah, okay, got it. All right, let's do this. Let's look for some clues. As I multitask here, I'm gonna quickly go on my phone and look up Jaren.
There is a sticky substance stuck to the door frame. Perhaps tape residue?
There is a... Oh, there is a Jaren. The two top results for Jaren is, or at least when I Googled Jaren, or three top results, excuse me, is someone named Jaren Mays, who is, I think, some person on Facebook. Some dude. I don't know if it's the dude or the woman. Well, it says King Consort, so I'm assuming it's a guy. So there's one guy named Jaren, but the other two Jarens that pop up is some Jaren who's apparently a part of women's basketball, and Jaren Hogarth, who's in Marvel? Wait, there's a Marvel character named Jaren? Okay, sorry, I know I'm derailing this. Jaren Hogarth, ruthless lawyer. Hogarth does whatever it takes to win cases and knows no loyalty other than loyalty to themselves. What? Okay, what is it from? Is it... Jaren becomes allies with heroes like Luke Cage, Misty Knight, Colin Wing, and Daredevil. He represents the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. He even takes on Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk as a legal partner. What? Okay, Jaren might be more legit than I realized. I think we discovered Jaren, people. All right, if you know any other Jarens, let me know in the comments section below. Anywho, I'm gonna go focus on this game because I know people are gonna be like, hey, God, don't make this episode all about Jaren. I'm gonna title this episode all about Jaren. There are traces of a sticky substance like tape residue on the door frame. Okay, I got full focus because if I don't, I'm gonna think about Jaren. Fan Knight says there's quite a few and it's a name for both guys and girls. Okay, so it is a guy and girl name. I just didn't think Jaren was a name, but learned something new. Now I feel like a jerk for making fun of it.
The fish tanks have been shattered. There's broken glass scattered on the inside, which means it's certain someone smashed it inward. Why would someone do this?
Why, that was a question. All the tanks were smashed inward. Wait, is inward being... Inward would be like from where Halara is, like if I punched that way. Like that's in the things. Right?
I see.
The equipment and food for the tropical fish are placed together. Seems like nothing has been used since the incident. There's some dust. Apparently that's important. Equipment used for keeping tropical fish is placed together. Honestly, then maybe my kid named Jaren would be cool.
Right.
There's some stains on the floor. It's likely due to the water spilled from fish tanks. Other than that, nothing else seems suspicious. Stains caused by water spilling from the tanks on the floor. Got it. Okay, what else? At the window. At the vent. Wall stains. At the place where his body was? Oh, okay. Okay, wall stains. What was that?
What is this? There's a stain here that looks like a horizontal line.
Yeah, it looks like something was like shoveled or like shelved or moved. Like something was on the wall and just kind of grinded on the side of it, maybe. Like something was moved, like a drawer or maybe fish tanks. It's a name used in France. Like I'm about to say, because I don't know if that's definitely not an American-born name. Like, Jaren feels like an international name. The point where I guarantee you, if anyone here in the States were like, oh, your name's Jared, where's that from? There's no way it's from, I don't know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, or Trenton, New Jersey, or anything like that.
Upon close inspection, there appears to be a faint outline of the same stain along all 4 walls.
That's true. But what is it from, though, is the question. Like, what made the wall stains? Alright, vent.
An ordinary vent. There's some blue paint on the inner side of the frame.
Oh, yes there is.
Looks like something rubbed against it. This may have something to do with the case.
Or it may be nothing. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. What's left? Just the window? Aw, the Switch doesn't want to handle reflection. Can't see my reflection in the window? Or I'm a vampire.
It's a regular sliding window with a crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks on it.
But the same wall stains are on the window, though.
There's a small veranda outside. We're on the 2nd floor, so any rain that falls off the eaves flows to the drain.
Okay. A normal window with no crescent lock. There are no suspicious marks. I wouldn't say that, because I'm still thinking about that wall mark, or the window mark. Like, what made it on the window? 2nd floor veranda. Rain flows off the eaves into the drain. I'm guessing Halara's saying that means that we should probably take note of that, folks. I've investigated things of note, but... Hold on, let me see something real quick. Also... Name's Halara, Master Detective dispatched to the Nocturnal Detective Agency, whatever. I'm sharp-witted and I'm attractive, but I don't have a gender, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter. I know you all have some sick desire for me, so let's move on. I like cats and dogs. I hate cruel con artists. I'm a master detective. My power is post-cognition. Hey, V, you want to tell him what post-cognition is? I don't remember what post-cognition is. Basically, I can see a crime scene after it's happened, but only through the experience of the target or victim. Alright, read you, don't care. Woman who's that's the Eternal Detective Agency investigator, father's unusual death, blah blah. Likes quizzes and puzzles. Hates exercise. Oh, she might be more up my ballot. You know what? She hates exercise, and her talent is pet grooming, and she likes puzzles and quizzes. All right, Jaren, sorry, she's mine. You had your run. Tetra's father, the client. His real name is Harrison. Harrison? Charison? How the flip do you say his name? He ran a medical devices company while he was alive. He drowned with his head in a tropical fish tank, which he maintained as a hobby. Likes tropical fish, aquariums, hates dishonesty. He's management. Where's Jaren? Jaren. Yeah. He's been living in a Tetra's house for about a year. His name is... he likes Tetra. He hates waking up early. He's a freeloader at Tetra's house. His talent is do-it-yourself. This guy sucks. I could take Jaren in a fight. No, jokes aside, though, I think we're done here. I'm getting off the oh, I remember why I was doing this. Ordinary event, 20 centimeters. Big enough. Sorry, I'm trying to make a mental note for these things. I feel like with Halara, I should take this a bit more seriously. I think I got a little too carried with the whole Jaren thing, I'll admit. But I feel like Halara's DLC mission is going to be where I should take it just as seriously as I do the main game. Not that I don't take it seriously for anything else, like for Desahiko and Fubuki, but better be safe than sorry. Alright, I think I'm done. Let's see what happens.
That's about all I can investigate for now. I should go talk to our clients before I observe the crime scene at the time the body was discovered.
But I'm wondering how we're going to use post-cognition, unless it has something to do with Jaren. You know what? I think it was Jaren. I'm calling it right now. Jaren probably is, like, upset because people make fun of his name. It was probably, like, Tetra's father. He's like, yeah, well, I would let you marry my daughter, but unfortunately your name's Jaren, and, you're not attractive enough to be called Jaren. In fact, you look more like a Tim. Like, but what's wrong with the name Tim? It's like, nothing. I'm just saying you don't look like a Jaren, so you're a loser. That's basically what I'm saying. It's like, you're offending both me and Tim's in the world. And then he, like, offed Tetra's father. You know what? I'm calling it. I think Jaren's the murderer.
The crime scene has been inspected, Chief.
Thanks.
There are a few things I'd like to confirm.
Yes, please ask me anything.
Can you give me the details of when you discovered the body?
It was, I think, around 6 in the morning.
Okay.
My father usually woke up early for breakfast, but when I went to get him, he wasn't in his room. So I looked around and noticed Sugar barking at this room.
Sugar.
Sugar?
Oh, barking? A dog?
That's the name of our dog.
Where's Sugar? Aw, Sugar! Oh, that's such a cute name for a dog. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so adorable. A Snow White dog named Sugar. Yo. That's gonna be up there, one of the cutest dog names. Dude, if I get like a white Shiba Inu. Oh, well, originally I was gonna name it Koro, but if I can't name it Koromaru, honestly, I legit might get a Shiba Inu named Sugar, because that is a very adorable name.
Hey!
Hey, Sugar.
Sugar sure is happy. She's rarely friendly with anyone.
Maybe Halara just has an affinity with animals.
She barks at me all the time.
Yeah, I can't blame her. I mean, you know. Darn.
There.
Shall we continue?
Oh, sorry. Sugar was barking in front of the room, so I opened the door to take a look. There I saw my father. His head was in the fish tank. He was already gone.
I heard her scream and ran over, but what I saw took my breath away.
Well, it sucks that I know Jaren's voice actor, but come on, man.
The fish tanks were all destroyed. The floor was covered with water. All the tropical fish Father loved were scattered across the floor, dead.
Oh.
Were they valuable?
I'm not sure. I don't know how much they were worth, but the fact is, my father cared for them a great deal.
If the fish were expensive, do you think someone tried to steal them?
Are you implying my father's murder was an afterthought?
No, but we were just taking a guess, so... Nah.
Well, I'm just considering possibilities. If they were going to steal the fish,
Go to sleep and have a good night, V. Have a great stream. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I'll hear from you soon. Hopefully hear from you soon, excuse me.
You're right.
Do you know the estimated time of death for the victim?
I believe it was around 10 o'clock the night before.
When was the last time you saw him alive?
Right around 7 that night. I ate dinner with him. He went to his room after that.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. According to the Peacekeeper's investigation, the victim died around 10 p.m. I'll keep that in mind.
Does anyone else live here?
It's just me and him now. The servant left after making dinner before 7.
Ah, must be nice being rich.
Tell me,
Wish I had money.
what were you doing around 10 that night?
After finishing dinner with my father, I did some cleaning and washed the dishes.
Yeah, with me. Okay, sorry.
Jaren came to the dining hall around 8 for dinner. And then we watched TV in the living room until around midnight.
Yes. I know for certain we were together between 8 and midnight.
I don't think I could get away from Sean Chiplock. That sounds like him. If I'm mistaken, then I know everyone's gonna flame me in the comment section, but it sounds like Sean Chiplock's voice.
Did you ever get up during that time? Such as to go to the bathroom?
I don't think so.
Okay, Reen/Mishima.
Were there any screams or sounds of a struggle around 10 at night? No, none at all. I see. That leaves me wondering who entered that room, when they did, and why they smashed all the fish tanks.
It was Sugar.
The fish tanks are large and have thick glass. You'd think you'd hear them being smashed.
True. All I know for certain is that we didn't hear anything like that.
From at least 8 p.m. to around midnight, Jaren was with Tetra. Well, I guess that means it's not Jaren.
Do you often come in and out of this room?
Not at all. Only my father used this room.
What did the peacekeepers have to say when they saw the state of things in the room?
Why would you ask that, Chief? You know they're probably gonna say something stupid. These peacekeepers are trash.
They said my father was stressed out.
Hmm.
That he lost control and smashed all the tanks himself.
Yeah, see? Trash.
Was he actually stressed out?
Truth be told, my father was lamenting over a prized tropical fish he had accidentally killed that morning.
Oh, wait, what?
I thought he could have done something extreme, given how much he regretted his mistake.
He did look rather depressed.
I don't think he looked depressed to the point where he destroyed all these fish tanks, though. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Still, my mild-mannered father would never do something like this.
Did you notice anything strange about your father during dinner?
He was sad about the fish, but he ate normally. I didn't notice anything in particular.
Did your father perhaps not eat any meat buns, or I don't know, may have found a specific part of the town that didn't have rain, and then Touch just like, what? Why do you say that? And then Chief's just like, oh, no particular reason. Not at all, because you all are not normal people anymore. God, it's only gonna make sense to, well, it's a DLC, so people know at this point. But man, knowing what they are is wild to me. Yeah.
It's hard to think he was so distraught that he'd smash all the tanks on his own.
You're right. But that's what the Peacekeepers told us happened.
I'll take another look around. For now, I'd like to ask you to leave the room.
So you're gonna do that thing, yeah? I'm counting on you. Let's wait outside.
I have post-cognition. I was wondering when I was going to use it. I've done it for everyone else except Desahiko. But yeah, I have done it for everyone but Desahiko. Desahiko's was auto. Kind of lame.
The trump card is still
Actually, they're all
face
kind of lame.
down.
Auto.
Time to use my post-cognition to see how things were at the time the body was first discovered.
Does a post-cognition have to have... Oh, I guess it's the crime scene. I'm misremembering. I thought I needed, like... I don't know. Never mind. Post-cognition. Mission. Oh, snap. All you have to do is just cover an eye. Alright, let's take a look here. Unit post-cognition, traces of a sticky substance are on the frame. What's kind of tape stuck on? Even seen through post-cognition. Oh, okay, got it.
I see.
All tanks seem to have been smashed inward. There's not much difference from the room in its present state. Alright, so that's still the same.
I see.
At the time the body was found, many things were scattered around. Could this sort of mess be caused by just a broken fish tank? Equipment used for keeping tropical fish was scattered around. Okay, so that's changed a little bit. Is that water or is that some sort of glossy stuff?
Fish everywhere. The whole floor is completely drenched.
Post-cognition showed the floor was flooded and scattered with tropical fish. Is the window different? Anything outside the window different? Oh, there's something on the window.
It's not locked. Anyone could come and go through here. Perhaps this is how the culprit entered the place.
Or someone on the inside set it up to make it seem like a culprit entered. Maybe. Normal window with a crescent lock, but post-cognition showed it was unlocked. Oh, there's a fish outside?
There's a big tropical fish in the drain on the veranda.
That shouldn't be.
Why would that be there?
Second floor veranda. Post-cognition showed a dead tropical fish was present. I'm starting to think maybe, excuse me, maybe someone offed her father inside, then left, because how else would the tropical fish be there? Or maybe the tropical fish went through the vent? No, that wouldn't work. That was my other thought. So I had two thoughts. Either someone was like, someone did the final thing to her father, right? And tried to run away, unlocking this and bolting. And because of that, maybe, I don't know, caught a tropical fish or two and took it with them before jumping off the veranda. And then maybe the fish, you know, fell down that drain. But then I'm thinking, like, how else did the fish could get there? And the only other thought was somehow going through the vent, but that wouldn't make sense.
The paint stuck on the frame can be seen here.
So that didn't change. Even when seen through post-cognition, rub marks and what looked like blue paint were on the inside of the frame. Wall stains here, too. It seems the stains on the walls were present when the body was found. I don't see any particular differences. No, the stains are darker than they are currently. Does this mean they were made around this time? They were darker. Oh, so they were just done? What's left is a corpse, unless there's anything else to check. Gotta admit, this is actually kind of cool. You know, I'm just gonna take a little. Oh, whoops, not you. Wow, he really did. Ugh, this is just gruesome. Oof.
The victim's body is kneeling against the edge of a fish tank with his head inside.
I don't know why, for some reason, I thought a different angle, but I understand.
Like the other tanks, this one is smashed up too. Looking closely, he is soaking wet. It'd make sense if it was just his upper body. But for his whole body to be soaked is unusual.
Wait, his whole body is wet? The body was kneeling against the edge of the tank with the head inside it. But his whole body was wet?
I'm beginning to see the truth behind this case. That's all the investigating I need to do for now.
Are you done?
Just about. Sugar! What the heck you got there?
The dog has something in her mouth.
Hey, Sugar!
What's this?
A tube?
That's Sugar's favorite toy. It's just a rubber hose tied up in a knot.
Your dog has a very interesting taste in toys.
Ever since she was a puppy, Sugar has loved playing tug of war with a rubber hose. So I still make toys out of hoses like this. But I don't think I made one for her recently. Where did she get it from?
Maybe someone used it as an escape measure? Like, they made a rope to escape from with that hose? And then the best way to discard it is to, like... I'm not making sense. Maybe someone used the rubber hose as like a rappel, like a grapple, to like rappel down from the second floor to the normal floor, and took the remains of the hose and curled it up to make it like a toy for Sugar. That way it would dispose of the evidence, quote unquote.
Wow, that's interesting. Let me take a look.
Wait, don't touch it.
What's wrong?
Put that in a plastic bag without touching it directly. I believe it's evidence.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's evidence?
Consider it a precaution.
I agree with you, Halara. Sugar's favorite toy, a short rubber hose tied into a knot.
How's the investigation going? Are the peacekeepers right? Did my father pass away due to an accident? Or was it...
The answer is clear. This was no accident, but a murder.
Huh? Really?
Yeah.
What makes you think it's a murder?
My thinking.
This must be a murder because of the walls, the fish tank, the window, the floors. I don't know. I'm still suspicious on the way the walls are, like how it was shoveled, because like, so here's my reasoning on, I need to think about this. So it could be the walls because she said, or excuse me, they said during post-cognition that the lines around the walls were darker during post-cognition, which means it lightened up, and that's what worries me. But I don't know what else it would be though. No. I'm leaning more toward the walls, or I'm leaning more toward the window. I want to go with the window. It's either the window or the walls, or the sweat that drops. I'm going with the window. Wait, actually, wait. Can I go back? What about the window? It was unlocked. What would be the closest thing to that? It was open?
No, it's not enough to disprove the theory that it was an accident. Reviewing it more carefully.
No? Okay, that's wrong. Alright. Wasn't that. Floors were wet? No, because that would just be because the fish tank shattered. Oh. Well, let me go back to... Well, let me try the floors. Because the floors were wet?
No.
No?
It's not enough to
Yeah,
disturb.
okay. I figured as much. Okay, think. Must be a murder because... Let's think. Why was it a murder? The fish tanks were shattered, but that doesn't necessarily prove it's a murder. The window was open, but our window wasn't locked, but I guess technically it also doesn't disprove that either. Ugh. Maybe I should go with my first choice and say the walls. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Were the walls wet?
No.
No, I need to
it's
look at
not
the clues. Can I pause and see the clues? Let me see this real quick. Let's see. Even do post-cognition, the marks were the same. No. No window with no crescent lock. Render was seen outside. It wasn't locked. It's possible the culprit entered and exit from here. That's what I thought, but... I thought open would be it, but I guess not. Let's see. Wall stains. No. Floor was flooded and scattered with fish. No, but I already did that, though, so... equipment used for tropical fish. Oh, that doesn't work either. According to Peacekeeper's investigation, the victim died at 10 p.m. He was last seen around dinner. No, that doesn't work. Victim's body was kneeling against the edge. Oh. Your favorite toy. Okay, so it's not that either. Alright, think. Window was seen across the lock. There are no places. Maybe... No, it wouldn't matter if it was open or locked. No. Maybe because the tanks were smashed? I mean, that's the only other thing I can think of right now. I mean, it makes sense now that I'm thinking about it in retrospect. Because maybe the culprit could have, like, smashed the tanks looking for something, maybe? I'll go with that. I'll go with smash tanks. That might work. Let's say the fish tanks were shattered.
The victim died with his head in the
Okay,
fish
that's
tank.
right.
Is that right?
Because I thought it was because the window wasn't locked, but I guess open wasn't the same thing. But now that I think about it in retrospect, yeah, because it could have been the guy, it could have been her father himself. I think maybe the culprit was doing it to look for something, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, that is certain.
As you can see, this fish tank was destroyed like all the others. That is far too strange. It means something logically impossible occurred.
Impossible? What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain it. If the victim drowned with his head in the tank,
Then it
then
had to be filled with water.
water.
Oh, duh, yeah. So how did he drown if there wasn't any water with the tanks being shattered? Come on, V. That was so obvious. I bet you some people were like, V, come on, man. See, like I said, I'm just still hopping on this Jaren thing. I'm not thinking straight.
But as you can see, the fish tank is destroyed, meaning it is unable to contain water.
Right.
Like with the other tanks, the water spilled out when it was smashed, emptying it. So how could the victim drown in a fish tank that held no water?
Oh, well, now that you mention it.
Yeah. It was kind of obvious, and I completely overlooked that.
The peacekeepers claim the victim was disoriented and smashed the fish tanks himself.
But if that's the case, if I were drowning, I would have need that fish tank, something fierce. If by some magical means I was drowning.
But if the victim was still alive when he smashed the fish tanks, it would have been impossible for him to have drowned. In other words, the victim was drowned, then placed next to the fish tank to make it seem like an accident. The culprit must have believed this camouflage would be enough to fool the peacekeepers.
So my father was murdered.
Yes, there is no mistake about it. This is murder.
Hold on. If the culprit wanted to make the victim look like he drowned, why did they destroy the fish tank? Didn't they realize their cover would be blown? And plus, all the fish tanks were destroyed, not just that one.
It must have been part of their plan for the peacekeepers to overlook this contradiction. However, destroying the tanks required a lot of effort.
Right.
If the culprit did so despite the contradiction it created, then we have to assume there was an unavoidable reason behind it.
Like they absolutely had to shatter it.
An
Otherwise it exposed them.
unavoidable reason.
So, who is the culprit?
I must investigate
Hold on,
further to
lady.
find that out. I'll report back once I find the answer.
Yes, please.
Has anyone outside your family entered or left the house recently?
I don't think so.
Were there any tradesmen who came to work on your place?
I can't think of any.
Allow me to change the question. Have you recently done any remodeling or repairs to the home?
Oh, now that you mention it.
Okay.
The rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them.
He fixed the rain gutters?
Jaren? Oh, well, he did say he was a DIY.
Yes, he's an avid DIYer.
That's apparently his like, which is why I don't like him.
He not only fixed the broken parts, but also checked the gutters around the whole building, which was a lot of work.
Rain gutters on the roof were broken, so Jaren fixed them. Whoop-de-doo.
I see. That concludes my investigation.
What? Are you sure that's enough? Jeez, you're always off in your own world. I'm sorry about that. Our ace detective isn't very friendly. That being said,
Oh,
I
sugar.
believe this case will be solved soon. Please be patient for just a bit longer.
God, I want to just jump into the TV and hug Sugar. She's so cute.
Thank you.
Oh, good girl. Indoor pets are popular. At the same time, there's increasing concern of many dogs and cats become feral. Okay, guess I'm not reading the rest of that. Flip me.
Halara, just as you suspected, it could be the fiancé.
Freaking news, Jaren! So many people probably were like, it's not Jaren B, get off it. No, man. I knew it from the minute I heard him, and I made fun of his name. No way a guy like that is going to be named Jaren and not be bad.
Jaren has been living in the client's home and mooching off her since he got fired from his job a year back.
Then again, I don't want to immediately assume, because who knows.
He's in quite a lot of debt, too. At one point, he was spending almost all his time in casinos. He kept asking the client's father for money, but was always denied. Seems the father was also against their marriage.
So money is the motive.
Usually is.
If the father were to die, the daughter would inherit everything. So if he married her, the money would be his.
Makes sense. The thing is, that man has an alibi.
Right. He was with her at the time.
The victim's estimated time of death is 10 at night.
Yeah,
There's no
he was
mistake
hanging
that
out with her
Jaren
watching
was with the
TV or
client
whatever.
at that time. Yeah, makes no sense to suspect Tetra since she's our client. So we have to assume his alibi is airtight.
Or he must have done something to alter time. Or make it, maybe he did like a trap kind of circumstance. Didn't we have something like that before in the main game? Where someone had an alibi, but they set up something so that way they could be elsewhere but still pull off the murder? That might be it. Maybe Jaren did that. Using like, I don't know, maybe, well, he said there was like tape or something. Maybe like, I don't know.
Right. I agree.
His alibi is perfect. Not only was he with Tetra at 10, but he was also with her for 2 hours before and after.
Maybe he could have set up a trap.
So, as it stands, it's impossible for him to have killed the victim.
No, the alibi isn't a problem. It's possible if a certain trick was used.
Yeah.
Trick?
But I still lack hard evidence. Perhaps it's worth rolling the dice here.
Hey, are you sure about this?
Rolling the dice.
We'll make our move tonight. Let's go to the client.
It's for a cat. Of course Halara's in. In like Flynn. Depends on the mood. The worse the mood, the sweeter the taste. The better the mood, the lighter the taste. Anything new? Anything new? Anything new? No. Oh, many cats and dogs because... Oh my god! Split me running. Alright, fine. Let's expose Jaren. I knew that guy was bad. Having a dope voice actor.
Is it true that you know the truth behind this case?
It was too many inconsistencies. He can't look like this, have a cool voice actor, and be named Jaren. Like, it doesn't match up. Something has to give. So he has to be bad. There's no way the world would make a perfect specimen named Jaren.
That's right, miss. Allow me to explain. The key detail for this case is the victim's cause of death. Without a doubt, the victim died by drowning. But making it look like he drowned in the fish tank was camouflage. Why would such a thing even be needed? Because it secured the killer's alibi.
You said that the victim's time of death was around 10 p.m. In other words, the culprit secured their alibi at the same time as they murdered the victim. Is that really possible?
Through a certain trick, it was possible to drown the victim even if the culprit wasn't there.
I'm wondering. I have a thought on how that could have been done. Preempt this. What if they... Okay. I'm preempting thinking this. Because I'm thinking about the lines there on the wall. And I'm thinking about how the floor was flooded. What if... Hold on, I need to see something. Were the walls... Like, how high were the stains? I'm wondering if maybe Jaren flooded the room and locked him in so he would drown in there. Nah, that'd be too much. Never mind. Sorry.
Drown him without being there?
The trick the culprit used was...
I think the trick the culprit used involves... I think it might involve the hose, or it might involve the vent. Ooh. I don't know which of the two would be more likely. Ah, frick. I don't know which of the two would be more likely. I think it's the hose. Oh, which one would be the better one? I'm thinking the hose because Sugar, like, had the thing. Like, the little toy in her mouth. Not him, excuse me. Sugar had the little hose in her mouth. So I'm wondering if maybe it's the hose. But at the same time, there was vent that had a little, like, the paint stain thing. And I'm wondering if that had, like, a factor on it. So I'm gonna go with the hose because that's the one that Sugar had. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna go with the vent. So I'm gonna go with the hose. Flood the room, seal the room, dry the room, shut the room. I think Jaren flooded the... Oh, maybe Jaren did flood the room. Wait, maybe I might be on it. I think Jaren might have flooded the room. Oh, wait. Maybe the hose that... oh, you know what? That might be it. What if Jaren used the hose to flood water in there and the hose went through the vent in there, right? Because the window was locked, right? So that way you could stick the hose through the vent and, like, flood it in. Because the hose was blue, right? That might explain it.
First, it involves this rubber hose.
Yeah.
That's Sugar's toy.
Oh,
If
look
you
at
untie the
look at him
knot,
crossing his arms.
it
He's bad.
returns to being a hose. This was what was first used in the crime.
Mm-hmm.
How was it used? Don't tell me that's the murder weapon.
No, but also yes.
If you check the vent, you'll see the color of paint scraped
Yes,
on there
yes!
matches the hose. It was likely passed through the vent.
Yes.
Someone put the hose in the vent. Why would anyone do that?
To get the room flooded, and it would drown in there.
It's nothing special. The hose was simply used for its original purpose.
But now my question is, how did... Well, now here's what I'm confused on, because I made that whole bit of thinking maybe the room was flooded. How did he not... How did her father not react to that, or get out of there in time?
Its original purpose?
One end of the hose was placed on the edge of the rain gutter on the veranda side. Prior to this, the culprit adjusted the rain gutter so that the hose could be inserted into it.
Okay.
The rainwater from the gutter passed through the hose, filling the room.
Huh? What do you mean? Halara, you think this place got flooded with rainwater?
It might explain... Honestly, though, no, let them cook. Because it might explain why the walls were flooded and the stains are on the wall.
That would drench the whole place.
When the body was found, the room was, in fact, drenched.
But that was because of the broken fish tanks, right?
I don't think there'd be enough water, though.
That's part of it. But the main reason was due to rainwater pouring into the enclosed room.
Wait, what do you mean? What's the point in flooding this room with rainwater?
The culprit's goal was to secure their own alibi at the estimated time of death. This trick was necessary for that.
I don't get it. Can you explain from the beginning?
Let's go over what the culprit did on the day of the crime, in order. First, the culprit mixed sleeping pills into the victim's dinner.
Oh, okay. That's why, that answers my main question. That was the only thing I had the question, was how come he didn't put up a resistance. Got it. Now I'm on board. For sure, it's Jaren. That literally answered all of my worries.
While the victim was asleep, the culprit proceeded to prepare the trick.
Sleeping pills in his food? That reminds me. My father did seem sleepy shortly after eating dinner.
After dinner, the victim likely went to his room to lay down. The culprit then sneaked into his room and carried him out while he was asleep.
Oh, I thought he'd be in here, but that's fine too.
That was how the victim was transported to this room.
At this point, you're sure he was still alive?
Of course. If the culprit murdered the victim earlier, then their alibi wouldn't have worked. The culprit had to murder him in such a way that would secure their alibi. The preparations were done in this room. After bringing the victim here, the culprit used duct tape on the gap near the
Jaren.
door to weather strip it.
It's definitely Jaren. Oh. That way it could also flood without making sure any water leaked out. Excuse me, because now that I think about it, I didn't realize there was one thing that I know I would have gotten confused on. How come water didn't seep through the cracks? And that explains why there was tape residue.
Weather strip? What's that?
It prevents water from leaking outside.
What do you mean?
Let me explain.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
After weather stripping the door, the culprit started destroying the fish tanks. The culprit likely covered them with cloth to dampen the noise.
But isn't there, like, electricity in there?
Once he smashed all of them, he leaned the victim onto the fish tank. The culprit then moved to the window on the veranda and weather stripped the outside of it. Finally, they took the hose connected to the rain gutter and passed it through the vent to the inside of the room. Preparations in place, the culprit left through the veranda and returned to the mansion as if nothing had happened.
How does that complete everything? The victim was still alive at the time, right? When was he murdered?
The victim naturally drowned after being left alone for several hours.
Yeah, because you guys were chilling, eating probably some random frozen meals, some kids' cuisine, and calling it a day.
Huh? How's that?
The rainwater from the rubber hose flooded the room in a few hours. The whole room was turned into a fish tank.
Yeah.
This time filled with rainwater.
That explains why there was like the water stains on the side of the walls.
And that is how the victim drowned.
And of course, afterwards, he could just pull the hose out and boom, be perfect.
The whole room was flooded?
That can't be.
And Jaren's not reacting. See? Knew it.
The proof lies in the stained walls. The day of the murder, the room must have been filled to that line with rainwater.
Oh, and that explains why it was lighter too. Oh, you know what? I think I know why I was also getting a little bit confused in my head. Because if the water filled up to a certain point, it should have had a stain up there. But eventually, that stain would weather down in response to how the water would eventually drain out. Yeah, it makes sense when I think about it.
Rainwater killed the victim?
I'm pretty sure you guys are smart because you're watching this video instead of other things. But in case you were curious of what I was just basically saying. So, like, look at the chief's head, right? If the water was up to his head, like the chief's little top of his buzz head, eventually it'd be enough to drown him for sure. Eventually, that would mean that there should be a stain where the chief's head is. And over time, that stain would go down and down as the water would decrease, thanks to Jaren's little plan. Eventually leaving that stain down there, as light as it is now.
Correct. Only in this city could such an approach be possible. The rain never stops in Kanai Ward. This makes it easy to estimate the amount of rainfall to a certain degree. So it is not impossible to create this alibi trick with some calculation.
I knew Halara was gonna make me have to think. I knew it. All the other ones were like, whatever.
I think that's a bit of a stretch. Wouldn't it take at least half a day for the room to fill with enough rainwater to drown the victim?
I'm sure it would require more rainwater than usual to accomplish it.
But you did get a boost from the fish tanks.
Which means you'd need to gather all the rain falling around this giant mansion.
And I'm certain that would have been easy for, I don't know, someone that did, like, DIY work.
Gather all of it? How?
It would require slight adjustments to the rain gutters. After that, the rainwater would flow to the veranda.
Adjustments to the rain gutters?
Come on, Tetra. You know at this point. And Jaren hasn't said a single damn thing this whole time.
There would be plenty of water if all of the rain that pours upon the mansion is rerouted to this room. That explains how the culprit secured their alibi while drowning the victim.
What do you have to say to that, Jaren?
In the morning, before the body was found, they removed the weather stripping and drained the water through the veranda. If you check the drain in the veranda, you should find dead tropical fish that were carried out with the rainwater.
I was just about to say that. That explains why that one tropical fish was near that drain in post-cognition.
The culprit smashed the tanks beforehand to prevent rainwater from being stored inside. Well, that's how I would have done it. But maybe the culprit didn't realize that before they started draining the water. Seeing the fish tanks filled with rainwater, the culprit panicked and smashed all of the glass to hide the evidence. They must have carelessly broken the one fish tank the corpse was leaning on in the process.
Yeah, if he didn't, I guarantee you that might have... Well, we still would have found out, but it would have been a slight bit more believable.
Isn't that how it went, Jaren?
Yeah, Jaren.
I'll be direct. You are the culprit.
I knew you were bad for the minute I saw you. I kept making jokes about it, and I was right. So that's what makes me even more pissed off, is that I was right and I didn't know why I was right. Either way, I still hate you. There's no way you could have a hot girl like her and a good voice actor to voice your role and be named Jaren. Like, something had to be wrong. So, nah.
Hold on. Is this some kind of joke? Why would I kill my father-in-law? That's stupid.
For money. It's not always about the money, though. But this time it is.
But you were fixing the rain gutters a few days before the incident.
That's because you asked me to fix them. How does fixing some stuff pin me as the culprit? That's crazy talk.
So you intend on maintaining that you're not the culprit?
Of course!
Then we'll have to ask our little friend for the answer. Come here, Sugar.
Sugar, here, girl. Also,
This is the rubber hose used for the trick. There are scrapes on its surface. That's the proof.
And Sugar also has something else that I'm pretty sure Halara's going to talk about. Because didn't Jaren say yesterday that Sugar always barks at him? And didn't they say that Sugar was barking at the door constantly?
I'm sure the culprit tried to dispose of it, tying it into a knot before throwing it away. But our friend here found it for us. Good girl, Sugar. Only the culprit has directly touched the rubber hose. I'm certain his scent is still on it.
Go, Sugar. Bite the nuts of the person responsible. Go, attack, sick him. And then Sugar just charges at Jaren.
Tell us, Sugar. Who do you smell on this?
There you go. Good girl.
So, it is you.
This is complete nonsense. I won't accept it.
I'm so glad Bayo's not here. Bayo would have lost his mind hearing Jared. I know that Sean Chiplock's voice now.
If I have to, I'll kill all of you. Hey, don't tell me that you're really...
You really don't think you can. How?
I was so close
to
getting all that money.
There you go.
Calm down. Hey, why me? I can kill the woman anytime. I'll start off with you. Damn you, detectives. This is your fault for sticking your nose into my life.
Can you handle this on your own, Chief?
I'm pretty bad at this sort of thing. Please help. Shut up! I'll kill... Ow!
Too slow. Oh, you're done for. I'll take that out of my next check. As a nice little bonus.
You saved me.
Not for free.
I never thought it would be like this. What am I supposed to do?
Aww. You have Sugar.
You're not alone.
Huh?
That's what she's saying.
And you have friends in us. Oh, poor Tetra.
If you ever need help, come to us. The Nocturnal Detective Agency will always be at your service.
Thank you.
Of course. I made all those jokes, but I wouldn't really for Tetra, especially in a circumstance like this. I wouldn't mind, like, I don't know, grab some ice cream, see a movie, just to cure the wound. I feel bad for Tetra. She really put a lot of love in Jaren, and Jaren just sucks ass. But damn it if you're not a good DIYer and have a great voice. Aww, and Halara still gets to play with a cat.
As promised, you can keep that cat here.
Oh, it's so cute. What are we gonna name the cat? We have to come up with a cute name for it. Okay, the other one was like white as snow and named Sugar. What's an orange like spice? I can't think of one. I can't think of a name for it, but it's gotta be cute.
I don't need your help. That's what the cat is saying.
Come on, this cat thinks it's some sort of hard-boiled detective? Well, I suppose I don't mind.
This city is a difficult place to live, even for the animals.
Right. I hope we can keep solving the mysteries here to make the city a better place. And make it a nicer place for them to live too.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope so.
You're so cold to humans, but you like animals.
Because animals are true.
Are you teasing me?
See, there you go again, making that scary face.
You know, one of these days, you're gonna, I don't know, find some small 4-foot-tall kid and, like, absolutely adore them and want them to be, like, your closest friend or something.
Seeing you play with the cat, you look kinda cute. It sure would be nice to see more of that smile around here.
Aww.
I hope you keep using your powers to change the city. I know you can do it. For their sake, too.
That depends on the payment.
Come on.
God, I'm about to cry, man.
Well, how's this? Consider it the reward for this case. And maybe you could ask for permission next time.
Thanks.
Actually, yeah, Halara is cute with a smile. Oh god, I'm gonna cry, man. Knowing how they are in their roles, and the chief too. That's the end? Yeah. Made sense. I keep forgetting Takahito Koyasu is the chief in Japanese. I should really listen to that. Oh, see? Nope, called it. Look, Sean Chiplock, Jaren freaking called it. Some voices are just too recognizable at this point. Or I need to stop being a nerd. Honestly, that was good. I feel like the answer was really obvious, though, and I hate that I just didn't see the obvious thing before me. But you know what? That was nice. And honestly, it was enjoyable. Now, I could go for the second one, but I'm thinking maybe I split it up. Instead of doing a longer episode, I think I might just split this in two, and just next time do videos. It'll give me more episodes, technically, because I really don't want to say goodbye to this just yet. But honestly, I think that's a good idea. So I think I'm just going to call it an early episode, and thank you all for tuning in. Again, I know I made a whole bit, but the whole Jaren thing, it was kind of felt obvious that it had to be Jaren, just because of how, I mean, I know I made, okay, it wasn't really obvious it was Jaren 100%. It could have been anything else. And I know I made jokes about it being Jaren, so I was definitely kind of caught off guard by the fact they're like, yeah, I think it's the fiance. And then I was just like, wait, what? It is? And then the minute they said money, I was like, got it. Yeah, he probably did it to get money. I really do feel bad for Tetra, though. But what's also, like, getting to me, all things considered, is, with the exception of the master detectives, isn't everyone technically a homunculus? So wouldn't they technically be okay? I mean, not necessarily. I'm just so confused. Like, see, knowing what I know about Master Detective Archives is clashing with my knowledge about, like, who's alive and who's not alive, or who can come back, who can't, considering, you know, their homunculi and stuff. But whatever. You know what? Like I said, I'm just gonna call it early, and thank you all for tuning in. Next episode we'll do Vivia, and if anything, because this one felt long. Well, to be fair, I did make a lot of jokes about the Jaren thing, but I've noticed that so far the episodes feel longer. Like, Fubuki's felt like what would be a normal length episode a little bit, and then Halara's felt like a good length of an episode too. I don't know why Desahiko's was so small, or I don't know, but we'll see, because if that's the case, then Vivia's might be really long, and then I don't know if I have the heart to do Yakos. I really don't. The last thing I will say, though, really quickly, sorry, is for those who get, like, the special edition from Master Detective Archives Raincoat Plus, the one that's coming for, like, PS5. So, we talked about it before, to showcase it. When I got the special edition of Raincoat, the Mysteriousful edition for Switch, it came with this DLC for the Yako Furio case that I read, and honestly, I thought I did a pretty good job reading it. You can find it on my YouTube page. But it came with that. But I found out that if you get the PS4 version, or the PlayStation 5 version, the Lucid Noir edition, it supposedly comes with an extra visual novel featuring Halara. And I kind of want that. I would love to read that. But unfortunately, I don't have the funds for that, so it's probably not going to happen. But if anyone, I don't know, can find a link for it, I'll happily, like, want to enjoy that for my own personal thing. I would love one day to showcase on the channel, but it might not happen. So if anyone could just, like, find a thing for me, I would love to just have that for my own personal knowledge. But yeah, I really like Halara, and I really, well, what I like about knowing all these characters, like, circumstance and stuff, is, like, Halara's whole thing about how they don't like they like animals but hate humans because Halara can't trust them anymore because of what we dealt with already, and that was really, really awesome. And honestly, I could always just go back to the Gumshoe Gabs and just replay them if I wanted to. God, I miss playing as no, I can't. I have half a mind to do it. Oh, I didn't think I was gonna do it automatically. Oops. Well, I'm not gonna put any guys do it, so I'm gonna call it here. Like I said, next episode we're gonna do Vivia. So I think honestly I might just cut if Vivia's short too. It depends. If Vivia's like the length of this, then I might just do one episode Vivia, one episode the Chief. if Vidia ends up being as short as Desahiko's, then I might do both. But I'd ideally like it to be maybe 2 more episodes left of this playthrough. So thank you for tuning into more of the Detectives Lost Cases, and as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Freaking miss Yuma and Shinigami, man. I need more of Master Detective. Like, what do I have to pay to get Master Detective 2 happening, man?